The two commonest questions we have in ServiceNow is how can we access another form from a given related form? And also, how can I create a custom field? If you're looking to answer these two questions, right episode for you. Hi, I'm Mohammed Kamal. Let's hop onto the laptop and get started. And what are the questions that came from the community? So the first question came is referencing the story table in a defect form. So that means the requirement is asking if they can be able to get the story within the defect form. That's the one. And the second we're going to achieve in this episode is adding a new field. How can we add a new field in a ServiceNow? So I'm gonna go ahead and start working on the first question, which is I'm gonna go ahead and on the application navigator, I'll go to defect and I'll open a story. Let's go ahead and open here all the story, which see I have one story right here, one defect right here. I will open that defect because we're going to reference the story within the defect. Okay, so what I would do from the additional action menu here, I will go ahead and configure, and from there I have the related list. I'll go ahead and click the related list, and from there I will have the available related list that can be added. Okay, that can be added within this defect form, within defect table or defect form. Then I have the one which I already have is a story related with the defect is going to be there. So let's go ahead and find the story, which is if you scroll all the way down from the available, you can find the story, and then from there, let's see here, story then parents. So if you move the story and parent from the available and add it to the selected, and you go ahead and save that one. Once I saved it, all right, awesome. So once you saved it, now you can see that the stories are added within the defect form. So we have the story right here, and then whatever defects are, looks like it was already there, so I'm adding it. So you can create a new story if you like to create. If you want to add a new story, you can go ahead and get from this collected, and you can move them from the collection to the story list. So that's how we can relate, or we can relate one table to the other one. So that means I have a defect form right here. Within that defect form, if I want to relate the story with it, so that means you can access the story within the defect. So it's gonna be very easy. You can do that way. The second thing, how we can create a new field within a given form. That was the question I've got from the community. Great. So to do that, we are already here, but let's go ahead and open a table. Okay, you can go to a table, but over here you can go ahead and create, you can do in several ways. You can create a field, a new field, user created field. You can create in several, where one is from the form design, you can create from there, or from the form layout as well. Let's go ahead and use the form design. It's very simple and easy to create. It's loading. Let's give it a few minutes, a few seconds to load. It depends on your internet browser. Mine is a little bit slow today. Everybody's at home here, so it's loading. Let's give it. So yeah, it's coming here. Now to create a new field, what you need to do, you need to know the field type, which is the field type. First of all, I always advise developers or anyone to first look at leverage the existing field, which is already the out of the box field. You have, let's say, approval. I hear budget cost, closed by. Like, you don't need to create a field called closed by. You already have it, so you can leverage that one. But if you want to create a new one, you go to the field type. The first important thing, you need to drag and drop. Let's say you have a choice over here, and I'll drag and drop it. This is a choice. Now what you would do, this is the gear icon over here, or the setting icon. Now you can give it a label. Let's say my new field defect type. Let's go ahead and say defect type. So the choice u underscore defect. That means you is the user, so you can name it in different way, but I usually name it with u underscore, and then I will continue with the next defect underscore type. Then the default, if you would like to have a default, you can do that. If it is mandatory, you can make it mandatory from here, so which means you don't need to write a script for it or UI policy to make it mandatory. If you want to make it read only, you can do so as well by just clicking this one. If it is dependent with other choice table with other field, you can do so here if you would like, and the choice type here. So by default you have choice 1, choice 2, choice 3. So let's see this defect. What kind of defect is it? Is it a dev? Okay, is it a dev or is it a test, and or it is a prod defect? Prod. So you have that. Now you just need to cancel it. It's still there, and you go ahead and save it. So once you saved it, now you created your user defined field called defects. I'll take you to the form here. I want to refresh it or reload the form. Now we will see the defect type right here. The default is none, dev, test, and prod. Perfect. So this is gonna make sure that when someone create a defect over here, you can label that defect as a dev, test, or prod defect. So what kind of defect you have. So in this video we have did two things. The first one, we be able to relate or we'll be able to access a story, right there, a story table or a story form from the defect. That's one thing. And we created a new field, which is a choice field, and then we added in the form, which is a defect form. Great. That's one way you can. The other way, you go to table, go ahead and find table, system definition, tables. Now these are the table you have. Now you can go ahead and find the table you have, which is defect. Okay, that's the defect table. rm underscore defect is the defect where you have. Then under the table columns, you go ahead all the way down. Okay, you can easier click new at the top right there, or you can all the way down over here, and then you just type the field name. Right, the field name. For example, I want to go ahead and create another new name here. I would say, for example, story. Let's see, urgency. Okay, urgency. I'll give it urgency. Then here you see right there the X. So the X is designating that this is a user defined. And what type of the field will be the urgency? Like, is it a string? If you double click over there, you will have a choice. Like if you are doing a string, you can just get the string right there. Or if you are doing a choice, again, you can choose the choice. But in this case, I want to use a boolean. So for urgency, which is true or false, and check it over there. And now, what is that? The second is reference. If you are referencing it, you can reference to the given table, and then this is the this one is telling you the maximum length, when especially when you have a string. And then you have here the default value, what it will be, and if you want to make it true, you can make it true, and then that is what the field is gonna be displayed or not. So once you do this, you're not yet finished. What you need to do, let's go ahead and go to the layouts, which is the form layout list. Okay, we need to save. All right, let's go ahead and save this one. Alright, we go ahead and save this one. Once we save, we have a couple of ways. I will go ahead and show you that one. The list layout, okay, the layout list. Let's go ahead and see the layout list. That's the one. Let's find the urgency, which is under you. It's a little bit down further. So urgency, u underscore urgency, that's the one we just created. Now I'm gonna go ahead and add that one. I'm gonna go ahead and save it. Once I saved it, now let's go ahead and show you the form. Show the form. Okay, you see right there, the urgency is right there, and you have the check mark because it is a boolean, true or false. That's the field that we created. So if it is urgency, you can if it is urgent, you can check that check mark over there, so that make it urgent. And if you're not checked, it is not urgent. That's all we have for today. Feel free to send any question you have at contact@servicenowstart.com. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to get more new videos. Until we see each other with the next episode, have a great day. Bye.